I can't wait anymore. When I told you I was losing my mind because of you, I meant that I like you, Ryu. Will this unexpected confession change everything? Let's find out together. The episode begins with, Ryu thought she knew all of Seung's firsts, like the first time he swam, the first time he drank milk, and even the first time he had a crush on someone, but she didn't know about his first love. Unable to hold back, she rushed to him, pulled off her shoe and threw it at him. She demanded firmly, "What did you mean by what you said earlier?" Just as Seung was about to explain, they were interrupted by the unexpected arrival of Hyun-jun, Ryu's ex-fiancé. Shocked, she asked, "What are you doing here?" Hyun-jun replied with a soft smile, "I missed you, so I came back to Korea." As Seung tried to take Ryu away, Hyun-jun grabbed her hand and said, "Wait, I have a lot to tell you." Just then, Ryu's mom and dad arrived, both looking visibly angry. Her mom firmly instructed, "Ryu, Hyun-jun, come home." At home, Ryu's mom served Hyun-jun food first, which made her dad furious. Overcome with anger, he stormed out of the house. Later that night, Ryu's mom confronted Hyun-jun. "Did Ryu cheat on you? Is that why you broke off the engagement?" He shook his head and said, "No, it was entirely my fault." Her mom, furious, grabbed a stick and was about to hit him. Ryu and her dad tried to stop her, but Hyun-jun said, "You can hit me as much as you want." Ryu's mom began hitting him with all her anger. Ryu quickly grabbed Hyun-jun and left the house. Outside, Ryu asked him, "Now tell me, why are you here? Since you left, I can't do even the simplest things like eating, sleeping, even breathing feels impossible. I still love you, Ryu. That's why I'm here to win you back." Hyun-jun, this isn't love. It's a habit you need to break. Nothing can happen between us now. I hope you can understand that and never come back. Ryu walked away, leaving him alone. That night, Ryu decided to stay at Mo-yoom's house. Mo-yoom asked curiously, "How did you feel seeing your ex-fiancé again? What you told me last time still holds true, doesn't it?" The scene shifts to a flashback where Ryu confides in Mo-yoom. "I enjoyed the time I spent with him, but I've made up my mind to move on." Back in the present, "It's true. I don't want to be with him anymore. It's over." Hearing this, she drifted off to sleep. The next morning, Ryu's mom said to her husband, "I shouldn't have hit him. What if he truly loves Ryu and wants to win her back? If they both want to be together again, I wouldn't mind." Her husband replied firmly, "I don't want Ryu to go back to him. I'm completely against it." Just then, Ryu's mom received a message from Hyun-jun. It said, "I'll be coming over soon to speak with Ryu about something important." Startled, Ryu's mom quickly went to her room and asked, "Are you going out?" She glanced at Ryu's outfit, then pulled a lovely dress from the wardrobe and handed it to her. "Wear this instead, and put on a little makeup too." Ryu came out after getting dressed and saw Hyun-jun standing outside waiting for her. Just then, Seung appeared with a bicycle and said, "Ryu, hurry up. You'll be late for class." Ryu quickly climbed onto the bicycle and they headed off to her class. While riding, Seung glanced at her and said, "That dress doesn't suit you at all. And what's that on your face?" Ryu explained about foundation. He smirked and asked, "Were you planning to meet Hyun-jun all dressed up like this?" She said, "No, it was all my mom's idea." Seung then asked, "What did he say to you last night?" "I don't think he came back just because he was bored. There must be a reason. Does he want to get back together with you?" Ryu looked away, unsure of how to respond. "Ryu, don't you have any self-respect? How could you let yourself be swayed by him?" Angrily, Ryu told him, "Stop the bike." As soon as he stopped, she kicked the bike in frustration and stormed off on her own. Meanwhile, Danho had gone to pick up Yeon-do from school. On the way back, the car gets into an accident. Mo-yoom quickly rushed to help. She checked on the unconscious man, broke the window, pulled him out of the car, and immediately began performing CPR. After some time, the man regained consciousness. Yeon-do was deeply impressed by Mo-yoom's bravery. Later, as Ryu was walking back from her cooking class, she ran into Hyun-jun again. He said, "I messed up a lot in the past," and he admitted, "I know I was wrong." "You didn't do anything wrong. I made mistakes too." She then turned to leave, but Hyun-jun called out, "Can we have one last meal together?" Ryu continued walking. As Mo-yoom was leaving the office, she noticed Dan-ho and Yeon-do waiting for her. Yeon-do gently applied a bandage to her wound and said, "You looked so cool today when you saved that man." Dan-ho then offered her a ride. He said, "You know, Yeon-do is really impressed with you." Hearing this made Mo-yoom genuinely happy. "We don't need to search for heroes far away. They're around us like you." Mo-yoom quickly replied, "I'm not a hero. But you know what? I saw a real hero once. When we were rushing a child to the hospital, there was heavy traffic on the road. Then this man got out of his car and started clearing the traffic. I couldn't see his face, but I remember the t-shirt he wore. It said, 'I love mudflats.' I felt like I'd found my dream guy." Hearing this, Dan-ho suddenly hit the brakes. Mo-yoom noticed he was wearing the exact same t-shirt with "I love mudflats" written on it, the one she had seen that day. She asked, "Where did you get this t-shirt? Do you know that guy?" "Someone from an environmental group called Mudflat gave me this t-shirt." She recalled, "That guy looked about my age, and his height was probably the same as yours." She froze as realization struck. Dan-ho was that guy. When they arrived at her house, Mo-yoom quickly stepped out of the car and headed toward the door. Just then, Dan-ho stopped her, handed her the medicine he had brought, and gently said, "Be careful next time, okay?" She took the medicine and hurried inside. That night, Ryu confronted her mom. "It wasn't a coincidence, was it? Hyun-jun showing up, and you sending me out all dressed up. I know what you're trying to do. Don't do this again. It won't change anything." Feeling lost in her thoughts, Ryu stepped outside for a walk. On her way, Ryu ran into Seung. He asked, "Where are you going so late at night?" But she ignored him and kept walking. Moments later, Ryu noticed someone following her. Panicked, she started running without looking back. She gathered the courage to glance back, only to see Seung chasing after her. "You scared me. Why didn't you just call out my name?" Seung replied, "Well, you're the one who started running without looking back. Forget it. I'm here to give you the answer." As he began to explain, Ryu interrupted him, saying, "Not now. There's too much on my mind. Everything feels so complicated right now." Seung asked, "Is it because of Hyun-jun?" She replied, "No, there's a lot of other things." Seung agreed, "All right. I'll wait until things aren't so complicated for you." With that, the two of them walked home together. The next morning, Seung's mother was excited about her birthday. She went to check on Seung, but his room was empty. Meanwhile, Seung had rushed to Tae's workshop after receiving her call about something big. When he arrived, Tae proudly presented a teapot. Seung asked, "You called me here for this? You said it was something big." Tae smirked and replied, "This is big." She then suggested they celebrate by having lunch at a nice restaurant. Coincidentally, Ryu and Hyun-jun were at the same restaurant seated nearby. Jung Tae asked Seung, "How's the food? Do you like it?" Seung nodded. "It's been so long since we ate out like this." At the other table, Hyun-jun noticed a small box on Ryu's side. He asked, "What's in the box?" "It's something I made in my cooking class." Hyun-jun insisted, "I have to taste it." She informed him, "Outside food isn't allowed here." But Hyun-jun called over a waiter and explained, "It's just a quick taste of something she made for me." "All right, but make it quick." Waiter teased Ryu, "Your boyfriend is so romantic." Seung, overhearing this, couldn't hide his annoyance. Jung Tae noticed his sour expression and teased, "I once told a friend that you're my ex, but we still like each other. Don't joke about things like that. I hate people who lie." Later, Seung stopped Ryu outside and said, "I thought you said you weren't going to meet him." Ryu fired back, "And what are you doing here with Tae?" Seung replied, "You know we're working on a project together." Jung Tae approached Ryu and offered her a bottle of wine. Ryu declined, saying, "I don't drink," and she walked away with Seung. On the way, Hyun-jun said, "Ryu, this reminds me of the old days. Next time, let's try something different." Ryu said, "There won't be a next time. This was the last," and asked him to drop her at a nearby station. Meanwhile, Seung's mother, returning from work, received a message from her friend asking for help storing some items in the office fridge. When she arrived at office, she was surprised to find her friends throwing her a birthday party. Touched, she became emotional. As she enjoyed the surprise, a message from Seung wishing her a happy birthday made her smile even brighter. Meanwhile, Seung's teacher congratulated him for winning a competition. The teacher asked, "Did you tell Ryu? She's been trying to find out about the results for days." Seung decided it was time to tell her. That night, Seung's dad returned home with flowers for his wife. However, when he saw her with another man, he misunderstood the situation and felt heartbroken. Later that night, Seung called Ryu and asked, "Where are you right now?" "I'm at my dad's shop," Ryu replied. Seung said firmly, "Stay there, I'm coming over." He arrived quickly. Just as Ryu was about to say something, Seung interrupted, "Listen to me first. I said I'd wait, but I can't anymore. When I told you I was losing my mind because of you, what I meant was, I like you." What will Ryu answer be? Will she open her heart to Seung or she walk away? Stay tuned to find out in next episode. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss this defining moment. See you in the next one.